welcome back to the CoolFigurez channel. I'm your host, Jesse the Bat Madrigal, aka the Buff Collector. The information on the channel is intended for adult collectors and not children. And welcome to episode 35 of Coffee and Toys here on the CoolFigurez channel. Not too much news this week, guys. I have to be honest, there wasn't a lot released. One company in particular did have quite a bit to say, and we'll definitely get to them. But other than that, the other ones kind of had trinkets here. I got a rumor leak kind of stuff. Really digging deep for you guys to have some stuff to talk about for the toy news portion for this week. So hopefully it's pretty decent. We are definitely going to be talking this week's Coffee and Toys Live. Once again, thank you so much to the Loyal Subjects Toy Company for taking time out of their busy day to come on the show, talk some toys, and actually show us some first looks. So stay tuned for that. And also, guys, like I said, this week's toy haul is a little limited as well, kind of like this week's toy news, but it happens. But nonetheless, we're still excited for anything and everything we can get, right, guys? So yeah, guys, we are going to get into all of that and so much more. But first, if you're new, then welcome. This channel is all about cool action figures, analyzing them, hunting them, taking pics of them, and of course, playing with them. If that's your sort of thing, why don't you go ahead and hit that subscribe button? And while you're at it, why don't you go ahead and hit that bell notification icon so you stay notified when I do upload new content. If you do enjoy this video or any other videos that I put out, please remember to give them a thumbs up. It really helps the channel grow. With all of that being said, guys, once again, welcome to episode 35 of Coffee and Toys here on the CoolFigurez channel. Like I said, toy news, toy haul, a little limited this week, but we're still gonna have a great show nonetheless. So yeah, guys, why don't we open up like we always do with Coffee and Toys Live. So this week I had the amazing pleasure and honor to speak with the Loyal Subjects. If you don't know who they are, they started, I think he said, in 2009, doing some exclusive like art toys and whatnot, and then I believe he said recently in like 2019 they decided to start the best action figure line. And if you don't know what those are, it's these little 5-inch, and I made the mistake of thinking they were smaller, but I look like a dumbass in the interview because I thought they were actually 4-inch figures, but he's like, no, those are 5-inch. So these are actually 5-inch Japan style figures, and they make so many different IPs. I mean, here I have Slash, a guitarist from a band, you know. I mean, you wouldn't really think of a toy company doing that, but they do, you know, musicians, cartoons, movies, TV shows. So a lot of great IPs and some great detailing in their sculpts for their 5-inch size. So definitely stay tuned for that interview, and super excited to see what else is to come, because like I said, he does show us some sneak peeks and reveals at some San Diego Comic-Con exclusives, so stay tuned to see those. So yeah, guys, with that being said, why don't we go ahead and take a look at the future of Coffee and Toys Live. This week's coming episode will be with guest Visual Approach Photo. If you don't know who he is a great toy photographer over on Instagram, so go ahead and check him out if you haven't already. Super excited to talk to him. I'm always excited to talk to toy photographers because they always give me some great tips and tricks on how to make my toy photography better, and in turn make your toy photography better, because we're all sharing the same conversation together. So super excited to talk to him. The following week after that, I will be speaking with Go Figure Go. That should be a fun conversation. And I believe the week after that, I am going to be talking to Parts May Vary. I am working out the details with him, but I think we did agree on the first week of June, if I'm not mistaken. So if you don't know who Parts May Vary is, he is another great toy photographer on Instagram. I definitely highly recommend you guys checking him out too. His work is phenomenal. So super excited to talk to him as well. And then I believe either the week after that or the week after that, I am talking with Nerdzoic, Big Nerdy Matt himself once again to reschedule the show that he was supposed to be on a few weeks ago. I believe he wants to do the 13th or the 15th of June. I have to look at the email, but so yeah, that's a little look at what's to come on Coffee and Toys Live. Super excited to talk to each and every single one of those guests. It's always a blast talking to these people, you know. I mean, you never know what you're going to get. You never know what the conversation is going to go to. We've spoken about toys, toy photography, and so much more in these conversations, and even gotten into movie conversations, which is always a great thing, you know. So super excited to talk to these people. Thank you once again to Loyal Subjects for speaking with me this week live. He only had 30 minutes, so it's a bit of a short one. Usually my lives run about anywhere from an hour to I think I've had one almost 3 hours with Rocco the Great. So yeah, it was my shortest one, definitely. But he only had 30 minutes. He was going to London soon. Plus, they're getting ready for San Diego Comic-Con. So he's running a toy company. He's a busy man. So I just appreciate any and all time that he gave me. So thank you once again to the loyal subjects for giving me time and coming on the show this week. Once again, stay tuned at the end of this episode to catch that interview. And with that being said, why don't we go ahead and move on into this week's toy haul, guys. So like I said, like the toy news this week, the toy haul is a little limited. I didn't really go out hunting this week. There's really nothing for me to go out hunting for. Really, I'm only looking for Echo in the Black Series at this point, and maybe 4 more Death Watch Mandalorians. But I mean, I already have 4 of those guys, so if anything, they pop up here on the table, but they wouldn't really like pop up on my YouTube again or anything, you know. But if I got Echo, you know, he'd be here on the table. But even still, that's one figure. I think the new Spartan collection is starting to hit, but to be honest, I'm kind of out of that line unless I can find the Arbiter, because we finally got an alien in that line. So that's one that's been a long time coming that we definitely needed for that line. So if I happen to come across him, I will pick him up from, you know, the Spartan collection. But other than that, I don't really think there's anything else out in stores currently that I'm currently, you know, actively searching for or looking for. There's only maybe 1 or 2 things that I'm like, well, if I found it somewhere, that'd be cool, which would be maybe just like the American Werewolf in London werewolf, but that's kind of a very, very, very low chance of finding it. But other than that, I don't think there's really anything in terms of Black Series. Let me see. Let me take a look around. Oh yeah, while I'm looking around, by the way, I am currently still cleaning my room. It's been about a week at this point. I mean, Saturday I started, so when this goes up, it will be over a week. But when I film this, it'll just be under a week. But as the filming of this, I basically just need my podcast corner. So I just need to clean this section plus my bottom shelves of all my other shelves, because those things get dirty so quickly because I have a German Shepherd and he sheds, plus all the dust and everything. It's on the bottom, it's on the ground floor. So those shelves just tend to get dirty super quick. So I figured, why don't I just clean everything, and then last I will clean the bottom ones, so at least they stay clean somewhat for a bit. Oh yeah, so I need to do my Mezco display too. So yeah, that'll be interesting. But I am filming the process. I'm doing time lapse, because if not, it would be a very long video. Like I said, it's taking me multiple days, so you will see multiple outfit changes in that video because it's just taking me days to do it. But I'm doing a very thorough and deep clean, rearranging, pulling everything out, putting everything back, rearranging some things, putting some things back the way they were. So almost done. And when I'm done, you know, it'll be a whole video. I kind of show you guys what my collection looked like at the beginning before the cleaning. Just a quick rundown, because I do have a full-on collection tour video up on my YouTube already. So if you want to see a deep dive into my collection, you can go ahead and check that out. So I just give a quick overview of what my collection looked like. A lot of stuff was knocked over, a lot of stuff was dusty and dirty, hence why I was doing a deep clean. So now, after I'm done cleaning and rearranging things, I will then once again in the same video do an updated collection tour, so that way you guys can see what changes I made, what stayed the same, you know, and how everything looks when everything's actually standing up and on display fully, and also adding some new stuff to the collection. You know, I had some stuff that wasn't really in place because I didn't have the space for it, but you know, having pulled everything off the shelves and everything, I was able to find some space. I was able to find a lot of space actually, you know, moving and maneuvering things all around and stuff, so that was good. I was actually able to pull off a lot of my risers that I had up there, so that created more space, which was awesome. But then I get more stuff and I have to put that stuff up, so it's a whole process. But we're almost finally done. Like I said, I just have the podcast area, the Mesco shelf, and then I think 1, 2, 3 bottom shelves. Well, I mean, the podcast area does have 2 lower shelves right here, so those might have to wait till the very end as well. And I mean like the very end, like after I even pull my bed over, vacuum underneath, everything. Like, it's a deep clean, guys. You'll see in the video, I even pull my dresser forward and I'm just like cleaning everything. It's springtime, spring cleaning. So I figured it's the perfect time to do a very deep clean. You know, usually I'll just go by, dust what I can, use the can air and, you know, but this time it's like a full-on deep clean, guys. So yes, super excited to finally be finished with that, and also just to see how things look. I mean, if you just take a look back here, I already put a riser right here underneath my Boba Fett helmet, creating more space right here. So, you know, things are already changing here, and things won't change too much here, but they will change just a bit, and I'm sure you guys will notice in next week's episode, because by then I will be done. I'm not going to say should be or could be. I am going to manifest it into existence and say I will be done. So yeah, guys, why don't we go ahead and talk about this week's toy haul? So yeah, guys, like I said, there's really nothing that I'm looking for. Mezco just charged for the Batman versus Two-Face 2-pack, so that should be coming in relatively soon. But in terms of Black Series, NECA, I don't do Marvel Legends, so, or Mcfarland Toys. There's really nothing out currently that I want or need. So, yeah, we're limited to basically my birthday haul. This should have been my birthday present, but I was on the beautiful island of Maui, and so all of this didn't necessarily fit in my girlfriend's carry-on. So we waited until we got back until she gave me them. And so, yeah, first up, it is the AMC exclusive, the Batman popcorn cowl. And yes, it is a popcorn bucket, but man, does it look cool when it's sealed up, and like with all the stitching and everything, you can't even tell it's a popcorn bucket. But here on the back you can see it, but that's on the back. On the very front, you know, it looks very much like a full cowl, you know. So super cool. Thank you so much to her for getting me this. I mean, I found it on OfferUp and kind of did the negotiations and stuff, but she did buy it for me for my birthday, so thank you so much to her. Whoops, for some reason I was just opening it and I forgot it opens. And also the other cool thing about this is it is now a permanent fixture here on the podcast table, so it can stand next to essentially the Batman statue. So super cool, awesome to have, and I absolutely love it. I can't believe I found it for the price I did too, because some people are charging up the ass for it, but I was able to find it for a great price. So, but thank you so much to my girlfriend for actually purchasing it, going and getting it for me, and giving it to me for my birthday. She also did give me this 3-set Mezco Stand Set. I have been needing some Mezco stands for my toy photography. I've been having to steal them for my Mezco display, and that just makes more work for me, you know, because not only am I taking the stand from the Mezco figure that's using the stand, but now I'm using, you know, other figures from other displays, say like Black Series Star Wars or Batman McFarlane or somewhere else. And so now I'm just creating more work for myself when it goes to putting everything away, because I have to put away more stuff other than just the stuff that I had originally planned to use. So she did buy me the Mezco 3-set stand pack, and as you can see, these are the best figure stands in my opinion. They hold up perfectly, they balance very well, and if they get a little loose, all you gotta do is get a little screwdriver, tighten up the little screws inside, and you're good to go. And the cool thing is, Cousin Eddie didn't come with a stand, so now he has a stand and can be secured on my shelf. So yeah, guys, that's it in terms of this week's toy haul. Like I said, nothing too much or in particular, you know. I mean, what can you do when you're not looking for much and there's not much out at the moment? You know, it's kind of like a dry spell. I feel like they're getting ready for San Diego Comic-Con. And I feel like it's just gone to the point. It's like, what else can they fucking give us, guys? I mean, really, what else can they give us? I'm saying this now, and watch. This whole weekend, there's going to be reveal after reveal after reveal after reveal after reveal. Like I said, I filmed this on Friday, so if that happens on Saturday, we'll talk about it on next week's podcast, because I'll have already finished editing. I'm hoping to be done editing this podcast by Friday night, because I have a lot to do Saturday and I still want to finish cleaning my room. So if I want to do all that, I better have this done by Friday night. So yeah, guys, with that being said, why don't we go ahead and move on into this week's toy news. But first, thank you so much to this channel sponsor, VRare Store. Check them out for our Funko Pop, anime, and Pokemon card needs. And of course, use code CoolFigurez at checkout for 10% off your order. VRare Store. So with that being said, guys, why don't we go ahead and talk about some Mcfarland Toys. So they did release a $15 Munitions Pack. They finally gave us some guns for our figures. Yes, they're marketed as spawn weapons and guns. However, you can obviously use them with the multiverse figures. So, you know, it's Todd's way of giving us some guns for those figures. However, it still sucks that our figures can't come with guns. Hopefully Discovery reverses that whole thing and changes that and sees it stupid in order to help boost sales and all this stuff. But one can only hope, right? So next up, we did have a leaked reveal and then all of a sudden solicitation for a gold label Martian Manhunter. I believe the only difference between this one and the regular release is the color. This one's more animated series accurate in terms of the coloring and everything, where the other one is more I think it's DC Rebirth. It's like a darker green and stuff, where this one has that lighter green from the Justice League animated series from back in the day. And that is a gold label over at Target. It is already up. I don't know if it's gone by now. I am not going to be getting this figure. So other than that, I have no other information on him. So moving on, we did get some rumors, and these were the rumors I was talking about that I found to kind of beef up and fluff up the news. There is a rumor that McFarlane will be releasing an entire Arkham City wave. And so the assumed figures we don't 100% know is obviously a Batman. Although we do have images of a fully sculpted, tooled, and ready to go Penguin, a fully sculpted and ready to go body of Scarecrow, and the Build-A-Figure of the wave is going to be Solomon Grundy. So super excited if that is true. However, last year we got a list of stuff that was to come, and Batman Forever and Batman and Robin figures were on that list. A lot of other figures that have come out were also on that list. However, the Batman and Robin and Batman Forever figures have not been released, and I'm really hoping we at least get Batman Forever figures. If we get Batman and Robin figures, that's great, because I would really love Bane to be the Build-A-Figure for that one, and we can get Poison Ivy, Robin, Batman, and Mr. Freeze right there. There's the 4, and if you have to have 5, obviously Batgirl, but I could do without her. But I want an Arnold Schwarzenegger Mr. Freeze. I need an Arnold Schwarzenegger Mr. Freeze. Let's see, what would be the wave for... I think the Batman Forever wave wouldn't have a Build-A-Figure, only because there's really no giant character in that movie, you know. But you would still have Batman, you would still have Robin, you would have Two-Face, and then you would have Riddler, obviously, and that would be the 4. So that wave would only consist of 4 figures. But that's just my speculation and hopes. So with that being said, why don't we go ahead and move on to the next bit of news. But first, thank you so much to Legend Footwear for helping sponsor this video as well. Check them out over at legendfootwear.com and use code JesseM_LGND at checkout for 10% off your order. Thank you so much also to Old School Labs for helping sponsor this video. Check them out over on Amazon at Old School Labs Supplements and use code JesseM12 for 12% off your order. Now let's go ahead and talk about our next bit of news. Next up, we are going to be talking some Loyal Subjects news. So I am going to give you guys a bit of a look at what's to come in the interview. I'm not going to show you images. If you guys want to see them, you're going to have to wait until the end to see the interview. And it does happen at the very beginning, so I'll give you that. It is right at the beginning. He kicked off the show with a bang. But he did show off a Loyal Subjects Best Action Figure Kiss set. So you get all the instruments, all 4 members, in a badass packaging set, and I really hope this opens the door to more bands. I would love a Guns N' Roses, a Led Zeppelin, let me look around my room. Who do I got? There's just so many great bands, or Rolling Stones and AC/DC. Who else? A Ramones. If we get a Ramones set, that would... a Clash set. Wow. I really hope this opens the doors to so many great artists like that. But he did also show off not only 1, but 2 different variants of Bebop and Rocksteady in their arcade form. One being the flashing Bebop and Rocksteady, and I believe the other one just being the regular Bebop and Rocksteady when they're not flashing. So the last thing he did tease for us on my live was the Shadow Turtles. I believe that's what he called them, the Shadow Ninja Turtles. And in this form, they're all like blacked out purple. It's not black, but it's like dark purple and stuff. They look all stealthy and whatnot. It looks super cool. The packaging looks amazing. I may have to actually pick this one up. This one actually looks pretty fucking cool. So yeah, aside from that, they did also have one other San Diego Comic-Con exclusive reveal, and that is the glow-in-the-dark Casey Jones. So yeah, all of these figures and sets that I just spoke about are San Diego Comic-Con exclusives. However, they will be available at different retailers such as Walmart, Diamond, and I believe he said somewhere else, but also San Diego Comic-Con if you are attending. So look out for those. And once again, thank you so much to Loyal Subjects for coming on to the show this week and having a great conversation. And like I said, if you are interested in that conversation, all you have to do is wait till the end of this part of the podcast and it will pop up right after. So yeah, guys, moving on to our final bit of news. Like I said, not too much news at all this week. So before we get into that, thank you so much to Raise Energy for also helping sponsor this video. Check them out over at raiseenergy.com and use code THEBAT for 10% off your order. And thank you so much to Man Sports Supplements also for helping sponsor this video. Check them out at mansportsupplements.com and use code THEBAT for 10% off your order. I also do have Amazon affiliate stuff down below. The link is always down below, guys. Anything and everything you guys do with these links and also these codes really helps the channel out. It gives me just a little bit so I can continue doing what I do. I am a one-man show here, so any and all really does count, and I do appreciate it. So thank you so much for checking those out. And with that being said, thank you so much to Diamond Select and their marketing manager, Zach Oath, for sending over all the images and information on the following news. So Diamond Select did show off their brand new gallery Boba Fett statue from The Mandalorian Season 2, or is it the Book of Boba? The stance is like when he was in The Mandalorian Season 2, when he first got his armor back, but I think the armor looks Book of Boba Fett-ish, so not Fett-ish, Fett-ish. Okay, I gotta pick a different, it looks Book of Boba Fett aligned. I guess that's a better way of me being able to say that. I don't know. I wasn't saying Fett. Oh shit, it is spelled the same way, just with 2 T's, isn't it? Oh, so I was saying fetish. So, okay, I take that back, guys. Either way, it's a brand new Diamond Select Gallery statue with Boba Fett, and it looks fucking badass. And I may have to pick that up. So, next up, they did also show off and solicit orders for their Marvel Premiere Bullseye Statue. And man, does this thing look nice. Next up, they did also show off their brand new Spider-Man, the animated series, Mysterio Bust. These things are super cool, and they also have a new one for San Diego Comic-Con, so stay tuned. That's going to be coming up. I'll show you guys right now. Last but not least, before the San Diego Comic-Con exclusives, they did show off their new Star Wars Rebels Kanaka bus. I'll be honest, guys, I have no idea what the fuck his name is. It's this guy right here. I never watched Rebels. It never appealed to me. It was so kid aimed that I was just like, fuck Rebels. I'm sorry, I will never give it a chance. I will never watch it. I just don't give a fuck about any of those characters. And honestly, his lightsaber, or whoever's lightsaber, it's like, it just looks so fucking stupid in my opinion. Lightsaber should just be a fucking hilt. They don't have to be all fancy. It's a fucking lightsaber. I digress. That's my own frustrations, my own argument for another day. But anyways, guys, I digress once again. One last thing before the San Diego Comic-Con exclusives. I know I kind of forgot because it was at the bottom after them, but that's because right before I came on, I checked my email one last time, and they did send me another email with this information, and that is the brand new gallery statue, Snake Eyes and Timber, to help celebrate Diamond's 40th anniversary. So that is it in terms of the standard releases. Now we are going to go ahead and talk about Diamond Select's San Diego Comic-Con releases, starting off with their gallery antique Avatar statue. Now, I am a fan of Avatar in terms of like watching the show and all that. It's not necessarily a property that I would go out and buy figures for or statues for. However, this thing looks pretty fucking nice and even tempts me to go out and buy it, but I just would have nowhere to display it. It has nowhere to fit in my displays, so I'm not going to buy it, but it does look like a really good statue. It is a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive once again. Alright guys, so after looking into it real quick, all of these San Diego Comic-Con exclusives are available on DiamondSelect.com. So moving on to the next Diamond Select Comic-Con exclusive, the Cobra Kai Retro Action Figure 2-pack with Johnny Lawrence and Daniel LaRusso. Once again, another movie property that I absolutely love. I love the Karate Kid, and in fact, they actually filmed it at a place that I went to very frequently when I was a child, golf and stuff. That was really cool and interesting when I found that out. But another movie that I absolutely love, but I don't need figures from. You know, I can watch that movie whenever it's on. However, I don't feel the need to have a Karate Kid action figure collection, you know, so I can pass on that, but still cool to see that they're giving you guys that 2-pack. Next up, like I said, the Spider-Man the Animated Series would make another appearance with the Spider-Man Spidey-Sense bust. So this is in the paint deco style of when he gets the Spidey-Sense in the show and everything kind of becomes like oversaturated in contrast, and I think they flip the colors and stuff, turn it into a bit of like a negative look. So that's pretty damn cool. Next up, they did show off their brand new Gallery X-Men, the Phoenix statue, and man, does this thing look epic with the Phoenix behind her and everything. It just looks great. Too bad I'm not an X-Men collector, but if you are, I would highly recommend you picking this up and adding it to your collection. Next up, they did show off their Transformers Mini-Mates VHS box set with, I believe it's Optimus Prime, Megatron, Starscream, and I can't remember the fourth one off the top of my head, but I'm pretty sure I got 3 out of 4 right. Once again, not a property I collect. I do enjoy Transformers in terms of like the cartoon. I can watch that anytime, any day, the Michael Bay films. Just not a property that I need toys from, especially how complicated they are to build up. And not only that, but me personally, if I were to display these things, my motherfucking ass would have to buy 2 of each. I'd have to buy one to build and display as a robot, and one to display in front of it as the car. That's just how my mind fucking works. So it's a good thing that I just stay far and clear from Transformers and just admire from afar. So yeah, they did show off those Mini-Mates, but next up they did show off 4 new figures, or 4 new packaging for figures that they've already previously released. So these are San Diego Comic-Con exclusive VHS packaging. However, the figures that they are releasing are re-releases. So they did announce Comic-Con exclusive VHS packaging for John Wick, Shirtless Bruce Lee, Johnny Lawrence, and Daniel LaRusso. Like I said, they just give us a 2-pack, and now they're giving us essentially the same 2 figures separately, just a new VHS packaging. So whether you want the 2-pack or whether you want to buy them separately for the packaging, that's up to you. But like I said, all of these things are up on DiamondSelect.com, minus I think the Boba Fett statue. I believe that is up on Shop Disney, but everything else you can find over on DiamondSelect.com. So yeah, guys, with that being said, that wraps up this week's toy news. Like I said, not too much in terms of toy haul, but like I said, happy nonetheless of what we got. So yeah, guys, that wraps up this week's episode. Thank you so much to each and every single one of you that tune in every single week. I really do appreciate it. Thank you to each and every single one of you that tune in every single week. I really do appreciate it. Thank you to every single one of you that share, like, subscribe, comment. I really do appreciate it, and it means the world to me, guys. He yawns and like stretches as if he works. So yeah, guys, with that being said, thank you so much for joining me for this week's episode of Coffee and Toys. I really do appreciate it. If you haven't already, go ahead and follow me over on Instagram at CoolFigurez. Also, I do have a separate Instagram account for more thought out, planned out, more edited pics called Epic Shots by CoolFigurez. Check it out if you like what you see, then you'll follow there as well. If you guys want to see all my unboxings, check me out over on TikTok at CoolFigurez. And of course, if you haven't already, subscribe to me here on YouTube at CoolFigurez. I really do appreciate each and every single one of you, because if it wasn't for any of you guys, I would just be a grown man talking to myself about toys. So thank you so much for taking time out of your busy day. And now stay tuned for Coffee and Toys Live with this week's guest, the Loyal Subjects Toy Company, starting right now. All right, guys, welcome back to the CoolFigurez page. I'm your host, Jesse the Bat Madrigal, aka the Buff Collector, and welcome to Coffee and Toys Live, where I will speak to a new guest every week about toys, toy collecting, toy photography, and so much more. This week, guys, I would like to welcome the Loyal Subjects Toy Company. Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy day to come on and talk to us, man.
Yeah, no worries, man. Yeah, it's kind of, we're getting ready. I'm going to London on Friday to do a distributor show and kind of getting, the house in order and running around like a crazy man, but it's all good.
That sounds exciting, man. Sounds like you guys have some big plans planned for 2022.
Yeah, we're well into 2022. We're doing a lot of business over at Walmart and GameStop, and we got some. You know what? I'll give you a couple of first looks at some San Diego Comic-Con stuff, maybe.
Please do, man. I would really appreciate that.
Yeah, I got it. Let me go grab this box of samples. But
man, we're starting off the show great.
Yeah, there's some good stuff here, man. There's some really good stuff. There's some Diamond exclusives. There's some Walmart exclusives. There's a GameStop exclusive. Which one's what? I don't know, but I'll show it to you.
I was going to say, you guys have such diverse properties that you can be talking about any number of properties.
Yeah, okay. So I'll give you a couple sneak peeks. This one, I think is for Walmart. Is this Walmart? I think.
Oh,
Arcade Damage, Bebop and Rocksteady. Total Japan style action figure, tons of articulation, head portraits, different accessories, all sorts of stuff. But you'll see this. We're also featuring that at San Diego Comic-Con. Let me see what else. This one. So this has the color hues are a little bit different. This one is for GameStop, maybe. But yeah,
nice.
some orange hues. The other one has some pink hues, but these are really cool. Super limited edition. I'm sure those are going to fly. And
yeah, usually anything Turtles does.
yeah, man. I mean, we're starting to be part of that, that lexicon with people that love that property. Again, we're sort of just stewards of the property. All the credit goes to Peter Laird, Kevin Easton, Nickelodeon, and Playmates for really kind of building this thing and igniting everybody's imaginations. But we're proud to be part of that chain, carrying on the TMNT fun, the stories, the great characters, great character development. So hopefully we're doing it in a way that you guys love. This one's really cool. This is a Walmart exclusive.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, this one's awesome. So I'm kind of like doing all this with one hand. But let me see if I can give you guys a look at this bad boy.
Oh, wow. Look at the packaging.
Yeah, this one's beautiful. There's different accessories in here too. Yeah, killer.
Wow.
Graphics are killer. I mean, it's a really cool set. Here's some more stuff on it. And I can do this blind, but tell me if I'm aiming in the right spot. Can you see everything?
Pretty much, yeah. There's a slight glare, but for the most part, yeah, you can see the first two figures right there.
Can you see that kick drum?
Yeah, right there.
Yeah, look at Paul Stanley's guitar too. See like the shattered glass?
Uh-huh. Wow, you guys got all the detailing in that.
Oh yeah, it's killer. I mean, this is gonna
nice.
ignite some minds on fire. But
well,
that
I'm hoping
is
you guys do other bands.
Yeah, that's gonna be for Walmart. That's exclusive at Walmart. So kind of coinciding with the convention. I got some Avatar stuff here that's really cool, but since this whole thing's about turtles, I got another turtle pack. I believe it's available at GameStop. And this thing is killer.
Wow, look at that.
This 4-pack, it's the Midnight Turtle edition. Great graphics. You've never seen these colorways before.
Wow.
These are
Oh, I think I lost the audio. You might have hit mute. Oh, never mind, you're back.
I'll show you some of the graphics inside. Again, I'm going to try to aim this so you can see. See these little coupons? Cool. I mean, the details are just extraordinary.
Yeah, that's what I was referring to. That's really cool, those little details that you guys are throwing into the packaging. Even like your other 4-pack where it was like a pizza box and it had like the grease and everything. That was really cool.
Yeah. But yeah, these are some of the San Diego SummerCon exclusives. Some will be available at the show, others with the retailers. So stop on by. I think we're booth 7244. I know, right next to Marvel, Entertainment Earth. I think Super 7's right next to us. Sorry, people are texting me.
It's all good. You're a busy man.
But yeah, so that's that.
So is it safe to say that you collected Ninja Turtles when you were growing up?
I'm a little older, so
Oh,
you know,
okay, okay.
I'm almost 50. So by the
Oh,
time
okay.
the Ninja Turtles happened, I was collecting surfboards, wetsuits, and skateboards.
Yeah. That makes more sense.
And I had, I was big into baseball, but I grew up in Laguna Beach, on the beach, and I'd say from about 8 to 18, I spent every waking hour on that beach.
I would too if I was living that close to the beach.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, it's like everybody that's from that area, you're kind of born with, a taco in one hand, a surfboard in the other.
That's funny, man. But so it sounds like you didn't really collect toys as a kid. So can you give us a backstory on how it came to be that you came with, came up with the toy company?
Yeah, no, it's, I mean, I'd have toys like how all kids would have toys, my parents didn't have a ton of money, so but we were really big on sports. I grew up again in the suburbs of Laguna Beach. Back then, it was a lot different. It was really rural back then. It was just like rolling hills and that kind of descended into the ocean. And so we were outside the entire time, mainly just playing around the hills, BMX biking, skateboarding. Orange County is sort of the ground zero for action sports, right? Skating and sort of
Hmm.
stuff like that. So that was kind of where I was at. I was big into baseball, but of course I like Star Wars, I like GI Joe, I like Transformers. I liked all that stuff. I didn't get a ton of it because Transformers even then were like expensive for parents, right?
No,
Uh,
yeah.
but I love pop culture and I love those things. I was part of that after school generation that watched the He-Man cartoons and the GI Joe cartoons, the Transformer cartoons, all those things. So I had that normal you know 80s growing up kind of thing.
Hmm.
But as far as toy collecting, yeah, I got into making toys essentially. I was a musician. I was playing drums in bands for a long time and really kind of slugging it out in Hollywood, trying to make it as a drummer. And then I figured, I wasn't the songwriter or the singer, so I wasn't going to make any money. but I
That's
still,
usually how it goes.
right? But I still play a ton. And I ended up getting a degree in theater arts. I was really kind of focused on the playwriting aspect. I could draw and paint. And so I'd create these characters and write these characters. I'd created some stuff. I sold it to MTV. I made some toys out of the things I created. This is maybe 2000. Sold them to like Urban Outfitters, Tower Records, like all these retailers, and kind of got into the business that way, just by mistake almost, and just liking to create things. I mean, to be honest with you, I'm a creative. Again, I still paint, I still draw, I still play a ton of music. I mean, I still do all those things, but so I brought sort of my creative palette, and then I widened the audience because toys can reach a lot more people.
Hmm.
So I was able to bring what I wanted to do creatively and reach a larger section, cross section of eyeballs. And I thought it was a really fun palette. And so from then on, I kind of learned the business. I started the Well Subjects in 2009, and kind of been on that journey since.
So can you tell us a little bit about your beginning as loyal subjects? Like you said, you just started in about 2009. So about what, maybe 11, 12 years ago?
13. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So what was it like at the beginning for you?
Um, well, entrepreneurship for anybody is you know I just sort of dive into things. I don't think about things. If anybody ever told me like, hey, consider doing this business, if I actually thought about any of this stuff, I'd probably be like, there's no way. But it's just not my
Yeah.
personality. I just jump straight in, and I
Hmm.
figure it out along the way. But when we started in 2009, we were working a lot with local artists, so guys that are like painters and illustrators, and we're making these limited edition sort of vinyl, sort of like You know, is it toy? Is it art? You know, is it sculptural? And we're selling to, you know, Kid Robot and all those stores. And so we started building, you know, we had a pretty good repertoire and a small niche customer base, and it was going pretty good. And then an opportunity to work with Hasbro came across the desk, and so we started doing GI Joe and Transformers, and we started developing this sort of mini line, you know, these 3-inch minis, and that was kind of like all the rage at the time. You know, Kid Robot was doing really well with Metacom was doing really, you know, they had a whole history, you know, storied history, sort of canon with their bear bricks. You know, there was a lot of cool stuff coming out of Japan. There was a lot of cool stuff coming out of Hong Kong. And so we kind of really liked that stylized look, that chibi look, and we kind of mucked it up a little bit, put a bunch of articulation in it, and skinned it with big pop culture properties. And that kind of opened the doors for us at retail because people recognized the properties. You know, if they were playing Transformers or Masters of the Universe or, you know, whatever it was skinned. But it was skinned usually like a really good pop culture property that had a lot of followership. So that started building the business. We were kind of really working it through retailers like Hot Topic, and then we got the chance to sell to Walmart, and then that really kind of opened the business up a little bit more. And then we took our expertise in toy making, and then started the Best Action, the action figure, the 1/15 scale, sort of Japan style action figure with all the bells and whistles. And we wanted to do it for under $20. So it was like, you know, what we call the best like self date. You know, you go to Walmart, you buy a Best Action figure and a slice of pizza, and you're out of there with $20. You know, so
Yeah.
you know, we wanted to be competitive like that, give you a really quality experience for a really great price, and skin it all the great properties that you guys love.
No, yeah, that's great, and that makes total sense. So is that best
What
action
up,
line?
TMNT collector?
Oh, nice. So is the best action line a relatively new line that you guys just started recently?
Yeah, I mean, you know, we sold of the minis, the action models. We sold about 6.5 million of them. We sold a lot of them,
Wow.
but they're really miniature action figures. They're much harder to make than these action figures because the parts are so small, connections are so small that, you know, there's so much pressure and tension on some of these small parts. You know, the stems, the armature were small. It's all POM armature, so they're really difficult to make, and they all had an extraordinary amount of deco. There was a lot of variation and customization. There's these chase elements and these really, really ridiculously low run items. And so they're very, very difficult. They're very difficult. And so we really knew what we were doing there. So then to walk into an action figure format, we had a really good idea of what we wanted to do. Part of it was toyetic. We wanted to make it playable. You know, we always say in this company, it's not about display, it's about play. You know, we're not building shrines, we're building experiences, right? So we want these in your hands. We want you guys to pose them. We want you guys to flex your imagination. You know, the old idea, you know, you're never too old to be a kid, you know?
Yeah.
And it's for everybody. The products are for everybody, you know? And that was the main thing what we wanted to do. Create something toyetic, durable, high quality, you know, stay true to the IP, you know, really kind of follow along the path of what the creators have done. Again, we're just the custodians. We're not, you know, we didn't make up Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. We're just trying to give you a great Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle experience. That's our whole intent, you know, to give you a nice experience. And the cost of entry isn't that much to have an experience with us. So that's kind of our mantra, how we go about things, and it's going really good. I mean, we're doing really well at the retailers, and pretty stoked on where this thing is going.
No, yeah, that's one thing I've noticed about you guys is that you guys seem to appeal to both collectors, but also you could appeal to kids as well. And not only just because of the way the toys look and how they can play, but also the price point. You know, even walking down the actual kids' toys aisle nowadays, most of those toys the parents aren't going to buy because they're 20, $25 or plus, you know what I mean? And they go down the collector's aisle and they find a toy they like, it looks good, and it's under $20. I feel like they're more likely to buy that for their kid at that price point. And, you know, like I said, you're appealing to both the kids and the collectors at that point, which is amazing. I think the other thing that ties into that would be your vast array and variety of IPs. You know, you guys have cartoons, TV shows, movies, and musicians. Like, what other company is really doing all of that?
Well, that was the idea of like, can we make a diverse assortment with action figure? You know, so it's not monolithic. It's not the typical toy business. You know, Hasbro has a Star Wars statement, a Marvel statement, and of course they're a boys' toy. You know, it's really
Mm-hmm.
for, you know, boys and girls. That's the whole point. But we wanted to do this where it's toyetic. You could play with them. You could pose them. You could tell story with them. You could cross universes, do all that kind of fun stuff. Stuff that we were doing with action vinyls, and we wanted to bring that into action figures. But you wanted a big variety, a big swath of options. You know, Kiss could have a an alley fight with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and it makes sense, right? So
No, yeah.
that enhances the storytelling. You know, enhances your ability to create your own stories and flex your own imagination. And then with an armature that has so much articulation and nuance and all these features, it makes it more realized. It's more fun.
No, yeah, definitely. You know, me personally, I found you guys just walking down the collector's aisle randomly one Walmart run. And me personally, I don't know if you see the guitars behind me, but I'm a big rock and roll fan. Guns N' Roses, one of my favorite bands of all time. I think you know where I'm going with
Oh,
this. I saw your guys' Slash action figure, and I instantly had to pick that thing up. And I have them right here. I don't know if this is the first version or the second version, but I have both of them because I absolutely love Slash and I had to have both of them. And you guys did an amazing job with these, you know, with his likeness, with his tattoos, with everything about these. I absolutely love these things. They sit right next to my guitar amp.
that's cool. I mean, yeah, here's my office.
Oh, okay, yeah, that kind of blows my setup out of the water. I got a little orange cabinet amp.
But no, dude, orange is great. I mean, again, you don't need so much wattage, right? I mean, there's a lot of guys that create really big sounds out of this amp, you know,
Hmm.
and then there's this thing that you can,
Play stadiums with.
you really crank it up. But yeah, no, it's I cut my teeth in the clubs here in LA, playing
Hmm.
bands. So getting to do music was a really big thing for me personally.
Oh yeah, that's great. Yeah, guitar playing was one of my first, you know, big hobbies that I really dove into and stuff. And, you know, now as you can see, toys have overtaken it and have totally covered it up and everything.
It's cool, man.
I still play every once in a while, but not as much as I wish I could, you know. Gotta find more time, but I run my own business now. I do this and everything, so gotta just cut the time, you know.
I love it. Yeah, it's whenever you get to warm up those fingers and let that get your brain on fire, it's fun.
No, yeah, definitely. So going back to the toy company itself, man, how did it go about acquiring all these different IPs? Because you're going all across the board. Was it easy? Did you already have connections built in? How did this come about that you were able to access so many great properties?
Well, yeah, I mean, it's of course there's a lot of like gates, right? We had some history with Action Vinyls working with all the major studios, and we got some really great placement. We had some great sell through. Did really well with the programs. So it's in that regard we had some of those relationships already in play. We'd worked with Nickelodeon on different times. We had procured turtles a couple times before, maybe about 5 or 6 years ago, a while ago. Um, So it's, some of these brands are cyclical, like Turtles is one of the cyclical brands. It goes like that and then goes like that. And, so does
Yeah.
Transformers, so does G.I. Joe.
Hmm.
They all do that. They're just, they,
Yeah.
they fly, they peak, they drop. They fly, they peak, they drop. So, we try to get them to where before they're on that upward trend. But we work with brands that we're familiar with, that we like, that we could sink our teeth into. But at the end of the day, it's a business transaction between us and the studios, and we got to be buttoned up, and we got to bring it, and those guys bring it too. You know, but yeah, it's a toy making and licensing and distribution. It's a very dysfunctional ballet, but
I think
but
that's
it's
just
good.
business
When it
in
works, it
general.
works. What's that?
I think it's just business in general.
Yeah, I know it's good. Like, the Turtles is a great program for us. Avatar, Nickelodeon's a very good partner of ours, and we really bring it every day in that partnership for them. And likewise, and the retailers are really behind it, and the customers are there. We're getting a lot of really good sales and support on the Turtles program. So there's a lot to look forward to. This is going to be really fun.
No, yeah, and something kind of going off of what you said about the retailers backing you up, it's something that I've noticed that you guys don't have empty pegs really. You guys will have stuff taken off the pegs, but when you go down some of the other toy aisles, there's like absolutely nothing, which I mean, you could take it one of two ways. Yes, they sold out, or two, they're not getting enough product. Where with you guys, there's always a great assortment of product, and you can tell that it's been picked through, it's been moved, people are looking through it, and it's always there ready for somebody to come in and pick up if they're looking for a figure like that.
Yeah, exactly. We're about big tent, accessibility. Our whole point is big tent accessibility. We're not trying to play into the FOMO game. We're not going to give you manufactured hype. I think our products speak for themselves. They're fun, they're affordable, they're high quality, and for the price of admission, it's a pretty good experience.
Oh yeah, most definitely. So I know you guys probably have to follow some pretty strict guidelines when it comes to like the turtle stuff because so many other toy companies are doing, so many other great iterations of them, from the comics to the other cartoons. Is there any way that you guys are going to be able to dip your foot into those great iterations, like the 80s cartoon, the Mirage comics? Because I know you guys are doing it in a scale that's very different than the other companies. So would that give you guys like a loophole, some leeway to get into that?
No, not really. I mean, it's yeah. People think there's so much authorship. Like there's, it's I mean, credit doesn't go to the little subjects or NECA or like Super Seven or anything like that. The credit goes to Nickelodeon. It goes to Kevin Eastman. It goes to Peter Laird. It goes to Playmates. I mean, I know there's a lot of emphasis, like because like some of these brands are like football teams for people. But there's too I think there's too much. Some of these brands take too much. This is just me speaking. I think some of the brands take too much credit. It's it's all about the foundation. It's about the guys who created this. So we all
Hmm.
bring our versions of toy making to the process, and it's dictated by different things. It's I've spent so much time in China, so I have a certain engineering acumen that's different. That could be different than one of the other companies. We have a full-time China team. We don't use brokers or agents. We're really kind of embedded with the factories.
Hmm.
So we might our toy making philosophy might be a little bit different than some. It might be same as a lot of people too. Um, but yeah, you might get these little style differences. I think between some of our competitors, our figures are much more articulated. They're much more feature based. So that's meant to create more play. Less,
Hmm.
like I said, less display, more play.
Hmm.
Um, I really wanted to do this 1/15 scale, this Japan style scale. I thought it was prime. There's some at 6 inch and above. Like everybody's like in this race to go higher and higher and higher. It's like how much plastic mass can you have? You know, I always thought the 5 inch.
Exactly.
I always thought the 5 inch was a perfect scale. It wasn't the 3 3/4 stuff. You know, it wasn't the 6 to 8 inch. It was just a really nice scale where you can, if you want to display them and you want to pose them, you put them in scenarios and scenes. It wouldn't take up, 3 figures wouldn't take up your entire shelf.
No,
You know,
yeah,
so
definitely.
I always liked that Japan scale. I always thought it was really good, and to have that much articulation in a figure form like that with so many small parts, I always thought that was dynamite, and that's what I wanted to do. When you get really blocky, you can't get the articulation in. The carve outs are all clumsy, and things just fall off because they're too heavy, and you know what I mean. I want something that was
Hmm.
that was a little bit more fun, and a little bit more durable. That 5 inch scale is really the magic. That's my opinion.
Well, thank you for that insight. Maybe one day we'll get a whole line of, Loyal Subjects 5 inch action figures with some of these great properties that you're doing, So is that something in the plans in the works, you think sometime in the future?
What to like
To
mash them
do
up or multi bags or
no,
something?
no, to do like 5 inch scale instead,
Well,
since
that's
that's
all
your
we're doing.
preferred scale.
Yeah, we
What was
are the
that?
5 scale. All of our figures are five
Are
inch. Well, I mean,
are
some are.
these are these 5 inch?
Yeah, man.
Wow. I thought
Yeah,
it was
exactly, dude.
okay.
They're the perfect scale. Again,
Yeah.
I get it. The whole
I could
market
have
is
sworn there was a little smaller. I think I could have sworn they were like 4 inch.
no, they're 5 inches, man.
I've never measured them, I'll be honest, so that's on me.
No, it's all good. It's all good. But yeah, we always thought that was the sort of magic scale. I know 6 to 8 inches like sort of the scale du jour, but we wanted to bring that sort of Japan style action figure, that idea into the market. Which I always thought
Hmm.
was a really really great scale.
No, yeah, definitely. Especially in your guys' figures, you guys are getting some great detailing in those sculpts for that size.
Oh yeah, man, the sculpt team's dynamite. I mean, these guys are so seasoned. The guys that work on the sculpt team, the guy that directs the sculpt team. I mean, he's done everything. He's done DC, Marvel, Harry Potter, anything you think of. Dude, probably every Pez you've seen in the last 10 years, he's done.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, yeah. Our guys, our creative team is dynamite. I mean, they're just bringing it every day. And yeah, hopefully it shows up in the product. But yeah, we're having a good time.
It definitely does, man. Like I said, you get some great detail in that scale, especially considering it's a slightly smaller scale than 6 inch, but not really. But you guys get some great detailing in it nonetheless.
Uh,
So talking about DC, Marvel, and Harry Potter and the future of loyal subjects, what is it?
Yeah, I mean, we have a lot going on. I mean, we're a pretty diverse toy company. I mean, I like to say toy. I get collectibles, the whole thing. I like toy because toy invokes play, and
Hmm.
and play creates endorphins, and it's a pot of positive union. It's all about imagination. So I'm really into the idea of toy. Um, but we're pretty diverse. We have a great action figure format with some really great licenses. We're building in different categories. We got a really great girls program. We got a great role play program. We have a discount retail segment like Five Below. We're doing some really cool little figures over there. Yeah, we kind of have a holistic view. Even our own IP creation. We've developed some in-house IP that we've been able to launch, which is really cool. And we're continuing to invest in that and develop it. But yeah, it's as long as people are there and they're enjoying the experiences that we're trying to bring to the table, you just keep building and keep building.
Sounds good, man. Well, I'm excited to see what the future holds for you guys. I know you're the person that handles your media stuff said you only have 30 minutes, so I didn't want to hold you up any longer. So thank you so much for taking your time out of your busy day, man. I really do appreciate it. Like I said, I look forward to seeing everything that Low Subjects has to offer in the future. because right now it's pretty damn great. And safe travels to London. Have a safe flight and a safe flight back as well, man.
Thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you so much.
All right, man. Take it easy. Have a great rest of your day.
All right, you too. Thank you. I'll check you later.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining me for episode 15 of Coffee and Toys Live. It was a quick one, I know, but he's a busy man. I mean, he owns a toy company. He's got stuff to do. Like he said, he's got to go to London Friday, so definitely has a lot of stuff to do to get ready for that. So either way, thank you so much to him for taking time out of his busy day to, talk to me about toys. Like I said, they are a relatively new brand that I discovered through their music toys right here, through their Slash action figures. And, now they're getting some really good IPs out there, like Ninja Turtles, guys. I'm sure you guys have all seen their new Ninja Turtle figures hitting Walmart shelves. So yeah, guys, with that being said, thank you so much for joining me, whether you join me on the live show, the replay, the podcast, wherever, and all of you that have been commenting, thank you so much. I know a lot of you guys are new. I don't really like to look at the comments when I'm speaking to guests, only because I like to give my full attention to them. So thank you to all of you that have been commenting this whole time. I really do appreciate it. If you haven't already, go ahead and follow me here on Instagram at CoolFigurez. I also have a separate Instagram account called Epic Shots by CoolFigurez, where I post my more thought out, planned out, more edited toy photography pics. So if you like that, go ahead and check that out. Let me follow there as well. If you guys like unboxings, check me out over at TikTok at CoolFigurez, and also check me out on YouTube at CoolFigurez for all your great toy reviews, behind the scenes toy photography, and Coffee and Toys podcast every Sunday morning. So with that being said, guys, thank you so much once again. Join me next week for episode 16 of Coffee and Toys Live, where I will be speaking to Visual Approach Photo. He is a great toy photographer here on Instagram. If you haven't already, go ahead and check him out, and I'll see you guys next week. So as always, I've been your host, Jesse the Bat Madrigal, aka the Buff Collector, and have a great fucking day.
Thank you so much for sticking to the end of this video. If you enjoyed those pics, you can find the full images over on Instagram at CoolFigurez. And I do also have a separate Instagram account for my more thought out, planned out, more edited pics called Epic Shots by CoolFigurez. Check it out. If you like what you see, leave me a follow there as well. And if you guys like unboxings, check me out over on TikTok at CoolFigurez. That's where I post all of my unboxings. And check me out every Sunday for Coffee and Toys, a weekly toy news, toy talk podcast, where we will go over all the latest and great toy news, reveals, pre-orders, weekly toy haul, and so much more. And join me every Wednesday over on Instagram for Coffee and Toys Live, where I will speak to a new guest every week about toys, toy hunting, toy photography, and so much more. Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy day to listen to me talk about toys. I really do appreciate it.